Why isn't it on the rota? I've already worked too many hours according to the European Working Time Directive. Tricia, may I remind you that only yesterday I proved myself to be a most sympathetic employer by giving you the afternoon off. Now, if you think I'm going to be a complete pushover, you've got another thing coming. Well, Diane said it was OK.
Diane says what?
For me to leave early. Only she's moaning because it isn't on the rota.
Sorry, forgot to write it down.
Thank you very much.
So, how was your morning?
Let me see. I've read the newspaper. I watched a celebrity cook-off, talk show on infidelity, and something on how to renovate your house for £200.
Oh, I thought you were going to take the dog for a walk.
We're working on it.
So, hey, Wednesday night's party night.
I suppose we should do something to mark the occasion. How about first drink on the house promotion?
How about a back-to-school party? We can all dress up in school uniforms and have a 70s disco. It'll be fun.
I love fancy dress, me.
Can't see how a lot want to dress up. Takes a miracle to get most of them into collar and tie.
No, everyone loves it. It's a nostalgia thing. We can do special cocktails, prizes for the best costume. Do a bomb at the bar.
I suppose so. Seeing as it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Well, I want our first night to go off with a bang.
I might have to draw the line at levering myself into a gym slip.
Diane, you have to join in. The customers love it.
Oh, yeah, you bet they will. You know, there's nothing floats my boat more than my Viv in a white shirt, a little tie, white socks.
Promise you'll meet me at social service
I promise you,
sometime.
I promise.
It'll look bad if you're late.
Look, I've only got a few calls. I'll come and pick you up if you don't want to park the car in town.
No. I'm very confident. I've been reading up on my parallel parking.
Have you now? I'll see you there.
You don't think they'll be worried about Zoe coming back?
Well, why would they? It's not as if she's living with us.
Oh, we've come so far. I don't want to risk them turning us down.
Emily, Zoe's not going to be a problem, so don't worry about it. Let's just me and you concentrate on being perfect foster parents.
Oh, you got that heating fixed yet? Me and Marlon Ropp all night, worry about Edith freezing to death.
This is, it's kind of difficult, look.
It's like a housewarming present.
No, I'm not going there.
Why not?
Well, I thought something was up when I got here. You know, the curtains were drawn, she wasn't answering the door. I just found her lying out. I'm sorry.
Hello.
What's this? Relive those disco days, a trip back in time.
A shorter trip for some than others.
Educational fancy dress. That should get some pulses racing.
I should have known you wouldn't approve.
I'm looking forward to dressing you up already.
Well, me and Diane thought it would be a good idea to celebrate our first night.
I thought Diane Blackstock was more of a Vickers and Tarts woman.
Well, it struck me as an unlikely combination. In my experience, at any rate.
Well, that's debatable. I better get going. See you later.
Oh, listen, I was hoping you were free tonight.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I want to make up for last night. Take you away. I've got something special planned.
What are you doing sitting here?
Waiting for bus.
Have a long wait. There isn't another one till tea time.
I've got to get to outpatients in Hotton. They need to look at my stitches.
Oh, well, I'd give you a lift if I was going that way, but I'm not.
It's all right, Mrs. Harp. I wouldn't be seen dead on that farty little sewing machine. No offence, like, but not when you've experienced the real thing.
The real thing being?
My first fella, he had this massive hog. Rode it everywhere.
On a pig?
No, that's slang for Harley. Harley Davidson, massive motorbike from America. Anyway, he loved that machine. It were great. Unless you open your mouth when a wasp were coming the other way.
So what happened to this fella?
Put a sidecar on since he got married. Right, best be off. See if that Bob at the pub will give me a lift.
And why would you want to do that?
Well, it was him who told me I'd not miss a bus. But we thought he was being funny, seeing as he fancies himself as a bit of a comedian.
Does he indeed?
I mean, everybody else laughs, but I've seen the way he looks at girls, especially Louise. Oof, creepy he is. Mrs. Orp. I thought you were Mr. Orp and his foot all over again.
You going to Houghton?
You know I am. I told you this morning.
Our friend Laurel here is in need of a lift.
These big old vicarages don't necessary now. Gabby and I rattle around there on the road.
It's tough, though, to uproot yourself from your home, isn't it?
It hasn't always been the happiest of homes. Memories can weigh heavy there if I let them.
Sometimes it's best to move on. Put the past in its place, eh?
Which is what I intend to do.
If I hadn't moved here, I'd never have met Louise.
And you'd be the poorer for it.
That girl is the best thing that ever happened to me. I love the very bones of her.
You're lucky to have found her. I hope it works out for you both.
Oh, don't worry. Now that I've found her, I have no intention of letting her go.
It's got the idea of a practical joke, innit? First night back home and that's it.
She was all on her own in that cold house. So sad.
What happened? It can't have been the gas, can it?
Wasn't switched on, was it? She must have died in her sleep. I mean, she was just lying there, you know. I mean, she looked very peaceful. Doctor's on the way over.
Bit late for that, innit?
Well, there's nowhere else to call, did I?
I suppose. Do you think we should go in?
I don't want to see her lying there all dead and cold.
Neither do I. Neither do I, but we're all she's got.
You can leave all that to the funeral directors.
We're supposed to be organising a housewarming, not a funeral. And what about our wedding? She was really looking forward to it.
Listen, at least she died in her own home. In her own bed.
It was no one to hold her hand.
Are you happy to be out of hospital?
I love being back. But it's scary. Very, very scary.
Well, I'm at the end of the phone when you need me. You can readmit yourself any time.
No need. I'm staying here.
Your brother and his wife, are they being supportive?
Very.
And what are you doing with yourself during the day?
I'm finding it difficult. It's funny how the time expands when you've got nothing to fill it with.
You could always try some of those occupational therapy options we discussed.
No, I can't settle. I can't concentrate on anything so mindless. I'm used to working, using my brain.
And you will again. I understand your frustration, but give yourself a chance. Let's walk before we can run. Is there anything else you need to ask me?
Yes, there's one thing I'm not clear about. How long will I need to take my medication?
At this stage, we simply can't say.
Well, is it weeks, months, years? The rest of my life?
It's impossible to predict. Let's concentrate on your recovery first.
Well, that's such a recovery from what?
We've discussed this, Zoe. We're not going to label you with a definitive illness until we're fully convinced that's what you have.
Well, it would just help me so much if I could just put a name to what is wrong with me.
You've come a long way, but you've got a long way to go before you're fully recovered. Let's take this one day at a time.
Thanks. I've got to get to work, get the roast, and I didn't want to leave her on her own.
Of course not. She always was a sensitive soul. She cried her eyes out for weeks when Lucinda dropped dead.
Lucinda was a hamster. My friend's just died and you're laughing about it.
Now, don't upset yourself.
I'm sure your mother didn't mean anything.
Oh, she always has to make a joke about everything. Because that's how she sees me, as some sort of pathetic joke.
Of course I don't. I am very, very sorry about Edith, darling.
No, you're not. You're never sorry about anything, ever.
I promise you I am. Now, come on. Come on, let your old mum give you a big hug. Come on.
Still nothing on George?
We'll need to keep up the pressure, but I'm quietly confident.
I thought we should take him out tonight. You can apply your legendary charms to the appropriate areas.
You know we are meeting Glynis for dinner.
I think George should take precedent, don't you?
She rang twice this afternoon to confirm.
I'm not surprised.
Now, she's under the sad delusion she's irresistible to men, so make an effort and try not to wince when she points a cleavage at
Which
you.
is more reason why we should give it a miss.
I am prepared to turn the other cheek temporarily if it gets us her support.
But why dinner? Why not lunch? Why not a cup of tea somewhere?
I know it's a ghastly way to spend an evening, but you've simply got to play her close to your chest. She has enormous influence with the press. If you want to be nominated to run for Parliament, we need her support. So, like it or loathe it, grit your teeth. Think of England.
Got an alibi for last night then, have you?
Meaning?
Well, that house must be worth a bob or two and her all alone in the world. I'm only joking, mate.
Try joking with my meat cleaver buried between your shoulder blades.
Very tactful, Bob.
I want it to be a surprise.
Well, if you don't tell me where we're going, I don't know what to pack.
All right, it's no good. Can't wait till tonight. This is burning a hole in my pocket.
What is?
I've booked us in to Swale Castle, and it would make me very happy if you would wear this. And you got to open it. Took me ages to find the right one. Do you like it?
I love it. It's beautiful, stunning.
And I got the right size. You left your silver ring in the bathroom. The one that you normally wear on this finger. I love you to death, Louise. Will you marry me?
I had no idea.
But you like the ring?
It's the most beautiful piece of jewellery I've ever worn. Must have cost you a fortune.
The most important thing is that you like it. Now, I think a celebratory drink is in order, don't you? Will you tell them or will I?
Yeah, I think we should just hold fire for a moment.
You have just made me the happiest man in the universe. You're not ashamed of me, are you?
No, it's just, this is so unexpected. I need time to think about it myself before, we share it with anyone.
Oh, I suppose I can keep it to myself for a few hours.
I really should tell Diane in private.
It's not going to be easy, me keeping my mouth shut. Especially when we have a million things we need to discuss.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that tonight over dinner.
Okay, I'll go home. I'll wait for you there, yeah?
Yeah.
I love you, sweetheart.
I love you too.
Well, the cash should be in your account first thing tomorrow morning.
Oh, marvellous.
It's been a pleasure doing business with you.
I did neglect to mention the small walnut escritoire. Gloria had sort of set her heart.
Ah, well, I'm sure we can come to some sort of deal.
I was rather hoping that as a gesture of goodwill...
There does seem to be an awful lot of goodwill around at the moment.
Hello, Eric.
What are you doing here?
Well, you could at least attempt to look pleased to see me. We have met, but Eric's neglected the introductions.
Rodney Blackstock, Glynis, a colleague and potential ally.
It's a potential, certainly. I was wondering, Eric, if you've had time to mull over my proposition.
Would you excuse us, please, Rodney?
Here, drink this. You look like you've seen a ghost.
I have. Spectre of relationships past. Oh, why did he have to do this to me? Why now?
Because he loves you. You've only got to look at the size of that to work that out.
I know he loves me, and that's not the point.
It isn't not the point either. What's up? Don't you love him?
Of course I love him. I love him so much it makes my teeth ache.
Then what are you scared of?
I'm scared of what it might do to us. I mean, if you tie something down, put a label on it, then the magic's gone.
I can't say that doesn't happen, but why do you assume it's going to happen to you?
Bitter experience. My last marriage was a disaster. I mean, we rushed into it so fast we didn't even know each other. I don't want that to happen with Ray.
My last marriage disintegrated as well. Doesn't mean I've stopped looking for Mr. Right.
So you think I should just put aside my doubts, keep my fingers crossed and hope that it works out?
Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. That's a risk you have to take. But only if it's what you definitely want. What you have to ask yourself is, will marrying this man make me happy? Is he the only man I'm ever going to love? And do I want to wake up in the same bed as him for the rest of my life? Only you know the answer to that.
Good day at the office.
Left Charity up to her eyes with some take trash problem. What on earth are you doing?
I'm just going to sit here passively accepting what they tell me to do, unless I understand why I have to do it.
I don't understand. What have you been told to do?
Slater's told me there's a chance I might have to take medication for the rest of my life.
So you've been investigating?
I got on the net. I found case histories, support groups. Lots I didn't know, even more than I already knew, but nothing conclusive.
What chance do you have if your own consultant can't give you a diagnosis?
From the look of it, very little. It's like knitting fog. I'm no better off now than I was before. I can assume, of course, but nothing definite.
Surely all that matters is that you're home and you're getting better.
I just wanted to do something positive for myself. Because I don't know what myself is anymore, and there's still a part of me that's a stranger to the rest of me, and I don't understand. And you have no idea how that makes me feel.
Glory could have been upon us any second. What on earth possessed you?
Lust, desire, animal magnetism.
We're supposed to be meeting tonight.
I couldn't bear it, sitting at table with you and Gloria, unable to express this desire which is ripping me apart.
Surely just for one evening
And then
it could...
returning to my cold, empty bed, thinking of you and her together.
I'm a happily married man. I have a certain position.
Power is such a heady aphrodisiac. Don't fight it, Eric. I know you feel the same way.
But, Gloria...
You never know. And you know how important my support would be to your campaign. Oh, I knew you felt it too. I'll call you.
It was very off-putting. I could see my rearview mirror way back. That's why she was going slowly, so you could go past.
Just trying to keep an eye on you, that's all.
I am capable. I've passed me test.
Good trip, ladies.
Well, the meeting went well, didn't it, Paddy?
And a comfortable ride to the hospital?
Very, exciting. Saw the countryside from a completely different angle.
So, we're agreed. No more attempts at self-diagnosis.
Reading those case histories made me realise how awful it's been for you.
It wasn't easy, I'll grant you that. We didn't know what to do for the best.
I keep thinking, did I do something to bring it on myself? And I even wondered if it was some sort of retribution for Liam.
You've been ill. There is nothing you could have done to prevent it. You were unlucky, that's all.
Maybe.
Definitely. It could have been me or Charity or Terry, anyone in that position.
I just feel so guilty. Now I know what I put you through, and I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for not realising earlier how much you needed help.
Hi. I've opened the vintage, since we're celebrating. The hotel's expecting us about 8:30.
Right. I don't think it's a good idea to go. Not tonight.
I've booked us in for dinner. We've got the best suite in the hotel. You're gonna love it. Mwah.
Ray, I like you. I love you with all my heart, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you, but I can't marry you. I love the way we are together. We're really, really happy. I don't think we should risk that happiness for the sake of a piece of paper.
I see.
Is that all you're going to say?
Well, I've heard about you. What about me?
Well, I'm just trying to do what's best for the both of us.
Well, I wish you'd shared your thoughts on our future before you'd moved in here, before we invested in the pub.
Oh, I knew you'd take this the wrong way.
You've just refused my proposal of marriage. I'm not aware of the correct way to react.
Well, it all comes down to money with you, doesn't it?
Sorry?
I knew I should never have taken the money for the pub from you. I knew sooner or later it'd be payback time.
You thought, when you took it, that I expected a return on my investment.
Well, I hope you wouldn't. But how wrong can a girl be? And if you think you can buy me for half a lousy pub and an ostentatious diamond ring, you're sadly mistaken.
So why did she ring you and not me?
I really have no idea.
She seemed so keen last week.
Well, something must have come up, apparently.
At such short notice. Must have managed to get her claws into some poor unsuspecting man.
I'm sure there must be some innocent explanation.
Glynis and innocent in the same sentence. She's playing hard to get, that's all. Still, tomorrow's another day.
The gifts that I've given you have been exactly that. Gifts to the woman I love. Given with love and no strings attached. How dare you throw that back in my face?
I'll pay the money back. I'll put the pub on the market in the morning.
That'll make a difference, would it?
Yes. It'll mean I don't feel beholden to you.
I asked you to marry me because I love you. And I was foolish enough to think that you felt the same.
I do. You know I do.
How could you after what you've just said? What kind of a lowlife do you think I am that I have to buy a woman and force her to marry me?
That isn't what I meant. You're twisting what I said.
Well, that's what it sounded like to me. I'll talk to you later.
Where are you going?
Somewhere my money talks.
Oh, Ray, I'm sorry. Look, that all came out wrong. We could talk about this.
This, engaged or not, was given with love. I'd like you to keep it.